Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's conference preview webinar. I'm going to give folks a couple minutes to come into the room. While we wait, I'm going to go ahead and complete the poll that you see in front of you. Just a couple more seconds to finish up that poll. Great, thank you so much. So again, hello everyone, welcome. My name is Leslie Gabe-Swanston. I'm the Director of Program and Systems Quality at the National Summer Learning Association. Thank you for joining us today for the second in a series of webinars we'll be hosting leading up to our annual national conference in Kansas City in November. Our topic today will be library partnerships. Before we get started, here's an overview of today's webinar. For those of you who are new, I'll share a little bit about the work that we do here at NSLA and the Summer Changes Everything, our national annual conference. I'm joined today by Melissa Dease, Youth Services Administrator at Dallas Public Library. She's going to tell us how she's been able to build partnerships between her library and other organizations in the community to bring more learning opportunities to more students. Then we'll have time to take some questions from our audience before wrapping up with some conference updates and announcements. Just some quick webinar guidelines. Your phone line is muted. So if you have a question for me or for Melissa, please use the Q&A box at the top of your screen. This webinar is being recorded and a link to the recording will be available on NSLA's conference website. The National Summer Learning Association is the only national nonprofit exclusively focused on closing the achievement gap through high-quality summer learning for all youth and children. Our work centers on three strategic priorities: recognizing and disseminating what works in summer learning, offering expertise and support for programs and communities to strengthen and expand summer learning opportunities, and convening leaders and advocating for summer learning as a solution for equity and excellence in education. Our vision is that all children and youth will have access to high-quality summer learning experiences to help them succeed in college, career, and life. Core to our work is the recognition that high-quality summer learning works. High-quality summer learning programs have been shown to improve reading and math skills, school attachment, motivation, and relationships with adults and peers. One of the ways that we help recognize and disseminate best practices in summer learning and convene leaders in the field is through our annual national conference. This year we will be in Kansas City, Missouri, November 12th to the 14th. This year's keynote speaker is Hill Harper, an award-winning actor, author, and founder of the Manifest Your Destiny Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to helping underserved youth to succeed through education, mentorship, and grant programs. You won't want to miss this great lineup of workshops and speakers. I'm pleased to be joined today by Melissa Dease. Melissa is the Youth Services Administrator for the Dallas Public Library. As Youth Services Administrator for the Dallas Public Library, Melissa directs programming and services for babies, children, and teens at 29 library locations. With that, I will turn things over to Melissa. Melissa, you may still be muted.
Sorry about that. I lost the controls, and so I couldn't unmute myself. So that's a great introduction for me. I am the Youth Services Administrator at Dallas Public Library. And the idea for this session really came out of last year's NSLA conference that we heard from a lot of organizations that said, well, how can I work with my library? I want to work with my library, but I don't know where to start. And so we thought that this would be a great way to start that conversation. So at the conference, at the conference, I will be joined. I'll be joined by the out-of-school time manager for Dallas Public Library, and also a couple folks from Big Thought. Big Thought is an educational organization in Dallas that really focuses on out-of-school time and summer. And we've had a partnership with them, with the library, and Big Thought have been partners for decades, and that relationship keeps evolving. And so I think together we'll be able to really show you what library partnerships can be. So there was a recent survey done by After School Alliance and the American Library Association, where they asked out-of-school time providers about working with the library, and many of them said that they only thought of the library as a partner for literacy programs. And while that's true, we do have lots of ways that we can partner. The public libraries are doing so much more than that, especially in the summer. Libraries are really known for their summer reading programs, but I will say that the trend is definitely towards summer learning. And the summer is when your public library is going to have the most creative and attractive programming, like guest performers and STEAM activities that, if you are running a summer camp, that the library would be a great place to go for something different. Also, in kind of a wider view of things that cities are working on collectively, it's important to note that public libraries are increasingly sites for summer lunch programs through the USDA's summer feeding program. That's a big topic in libraries now. And related to that, the idea that if you are trying to if you're trying to reach a population that is, deep in a neighborhood, libraries are already embedded in those neighborhoods and can be a great partner for initiatives that you are embarking on, that you need to reach a different group. So from the library's perspective, we are really looking for partners because we know that if a child is in your summer camp, then they likely aren't going to come to the library for our programs because they're happening at the same time. Or even more generally than that, the kids that come to your programs may not come to the library at all at any time. So really trying to increase our impact is one of the reasons why we really want to partner with you. Another thing is that, when we are spending the few dollars that we have at the library to bring in a guest performer, we want to make sure there's an audience there. And so those are great opportunities for if you are able to bring your kids to the library, that's the best time to do it. Another thing that I see that's beneficial to the library that I've taken advantage of in the last year or so is some professional development. There are things that we're dealing with in the library, particularly around classroom management issues and social emotional issues that library school isn't necessarily preparing us for. And going to out of school time providers who have all of that training and experience was very helpful to us. So even with all of the benefits of working together, there are, of course, challenges. I think the biggest one really is that I'm sure that everyone feels that they don't have enough money or they don't have enough staff, and I guarantee you the library probably feels the same way. And so there's that's the benefit of a partnership, is that we're able to maximize resources, but it also means that going into a partnership, there is challenges time to time when figuring out, well, who's going to do what and who's going to pay for it, because none of us have money and none of us have enough staff. I think another thing, and that my counterparts at Big Thought will probably say, that the data that we can access is beautiful to them. But from the library perspective, I feel like the data collection is challenging. It's all of our programs most of our programs are drop-in programs. And so adding a level of sign-in for that to collect data we have to change the mindset of our staff to get them to do that. And it's just very much against like core library instincts that we care so much about privacy. And so trying to get people to give up their information tends to be challenging. Not impossible, because we found a way to do it, but I find it is one of the challenging things. So at the conference in November, when you hear from us and you hear directly from Big Thought, so you get a partner's perspective rather than just the library's perspective. We hope that you'll be able to come away with some specific ideas that you can use when you go back home and want to work with your library. Some programs that we've done that we've done with partners that's very successful. You'll hear a lot about an event that we do with Big Thought every summer that's called a Discovery Fair, and it's kind of like a maker fair. But basically, we bring in all of our partners to have their own hands-on activity, and so they each have like a little booth, and it's a wonderful way, a cheap way. The first year we did it, The only expense was printing. There was no other expenses. So it's really an easy way to bring your partners together and have this really fun, truly family event. Some other more specific things, I talked about bringing in performers, and if you're close enough to your public library that it's easy for you to bring your kids to the library, pitching in together for the fee for a performer is a great way to work together. Another thing that I don't think a lot of partners realize is that most public libraries have specific resources for teachers. Like here at Dallas Public Library, we have a classroom sets of books that teachers can borrow. So if they want to run a book club or something like that, there's no reason that you couldn't request those during the summer if you wanted to have a book club during at your camp. Or we work with art teachers during the school year all the time that say, well, we'll display your kids' artwork because, that's great for the kids that their artwork gets to be on display somewhere outside of the school. And it's great for us because those kids are going to want to bring their parents to the library to see their artwork. So it's a great way to work together that we could do the same thing with any other organizations. And then, like I was saying earlier, that if you're looking at things in more of a citywide initiative kind of thing, the library is a great partner for addressing childhood hunger. Like I said, with the summer feeding program, but also services to immigrant families. I know that the library is considered a trusted institution, and people will come to us who may not go to other government buildings, that other places that might be intimidating to them. And so partnering with the library to reach some of those special populations is a great way to work together. So that was all of the information that I'm willing to give you now. So to hear more, you're going to have to come to the conference in November.
Okay, thank you, Melissa. I know we're at NSLA, we're always excited to hear more about the great work that libraries are doing during the summer and bring that to the forefront. Libraries are becoming a bigger and bigger part of our conference and the work that we do. So we're really excited about it. So if you have any questions for Melissa, you can go ahead and type those in your Q&A box, and I will jump to that. Give everybody a minute. If you have any questions, just go ahead and type those in the box. So Melissa, we have a question. How do I know who to get in contact with at my public library to talk about these partnerships?
Sure. That was actually one of the things that in the After School Alliance survey that came up a lot, was that people don't know who to contact. And I really think the first option would be to ask to speak to the children's librarian. Now, it's possible that your nearest public library doesn't have a children's librarian, depending on the size of your city or your library. And so asking to speak to the library manager, the building manager, is probably the best place to start.
Great, thank you. So another question, can a library help promote my summer program or help me recruit members? Things like that.
So it kind of depends on your program, and it depends on what the rules are at your library. I know at Dallas Public Library, we are very conscious of trying to avoid selling things to our customers. If your program has a cost, we probably wouldn't promote it. But if you are a free service, we're always looking to get information to our customers. So we love to be able to promote that kind of thing. But like I said, other libraries have their own policy, so I don't think it hurts to ask your library if they will post something or help promote it, especially if you have a close working relationship. That we tend to be more flexible with organizations that we work with a lot.
Okay. So I think we have time for one more question. So go ahead if you have a question and type it in the Q&A box. Also, last question we have is about parent engagement. Do you have any examples of how a library might work with parents?
So parents are another way that that libraries could really benefit from a partnership. Believe it or not, a lot of libraries will see the same kid every day and never meet their parents. Or if we do see their parents, the parents, don't have time to talk, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think that inviting the library to parent night at your organization is something that would both enhance parent night, but I know libraries would love that opportunity to be able to talk directly to parents, because we know that we can talk to kids till we're blue in the face, but if their parents aren't going to bring them to the library, we don't know that anything will come of it. So yes, engaging parents is something that the library is always looking to do as well.
Okay, thanks, Melissa. Those are some great ideas. Before we wrap things up, I wanted to share a little bit more about our upcoming conference and highlight some workshops in addition to Melissa's workshop that you'll be able to attend at our conference. Here are just a few. A shared journey towards using data to assess program impact. Increasingly, summer programs are being asked to evaluate their work and to use data more intentionally to assess program impact, but they are facing considerable challenges doing so. In this session, the Mid-Continent Public Library and Kansas City Area Education Research Consortium will share their approach to creating and implementing a rigorous multi-site impact evaluation system. Innovative intersections, libraries, STEM, and family engagement. Interested in doing more in better STEM? Public libraries and summer learning programs can be great partners in supporting connections between STEM and literacy, particularly by engaging families. In this session, you will gain partnership tips, promising practices, and take home concrete ideas for STEM initiatives to do together. 52 weeks of summer, linking summer learning to the school year. Through partnerships with museums like Museum of Science and Industry and the Shed Aquarium, Chicago Public Library is offering paid field trips to a child in each library who reads the most minutes this summer. Learn about this unique library museum school partnership and how it helps to bridge disparities in schools while promoting summer learning and school success. Skip the summer slide with Reader's Theater. Avoid the summer slide by engaging students in reading through dramatic play. Participants will learn to successfully implement Reader's Theater curriculum in order to bolster student performance and set them on a fast track to success for the school year. This session will use multi-level fun and engaging scripts to unleash the power of Reader's Theater. So those are just a few of the sessions that you'll see at our conference in November. Just a few conference updates. Our two-day conference registration is up currently on our website. If you haven't registered already, you can use the discount code WEBINAR, 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 for a $50 discount on your conference registration. Our pre-conference training institute registration is also open, and you see the registration fees for those on the screen. There will be more conference preview webinars to come. You can find a list along with links to register for those webinars on our conference page here. Webinars recordings will also be available here after the webinar. And finally, follow us on social media for the latest updates and announcements from NSLA. Thank you again for joining us today. You can see our contact information on the screen if you'd like to reach out to us with any questions. I hope to see you in November.